hardly any skip at all today, though. Yeah, beep, beep, beep. Where's that damn Hawkeye? I know you're playing with something over there.
Did he get his radio yet?
I don't know. I was hoping so. Yeah, they said the auroras were pretty hot and heavy last night. Audio. Yeah, it's all working.
Are you sure it's working?
Well, I wasn't until just a second ago.
I'll tell you one thing, old Radioman's gonna have to go back to the drawing board on old radio night. Every old radio I have is shit the bed.
Yeah, you might have to remedy that. What the hell, man?
Oh yeah, all that free time. It makes me laugh though. People go, "Oh, I'd rather have a made in America old radio." Well, right now, all my fucking China radios work.
Yeah, it's amazing how that works, huh?
You just turn the stupid thing on and it works.
Oh, should have just had you come over and grab a, granted, not that they all work, so who knows, but grab a fucking box full.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, it's old shit. It needs to be. I don't know if it was you I was talking the other day, like old cars, but it needs to be tinkered on. I get it. It just kind of cracks me up, though. I see people on some of the Facebook groups, "Oh, I don't want that Chinese junk," and I'm thinking, I got Chinese junks over 20 years old, and you just turn the shit on, it's still on frequency.
Exactly.
maybe I'm just butthurt because every radio I've tried using has given up its ghost.
See, you should be tinkering right now while you talk, so we can fuck with you.
Well, see, then I don't have fun doing that because I'm like trying to do it, and it's like, it sounds like crap. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna pack the chassis full of tannerite, and that'll make an entertaining YouTube video.
That's what I'm saying right there.
Yeah, let's see if we can fix this radio. Just pack 2 pounds of tannerite in it. We're going to see if we can send it to the moon.
Oh, I picked up an old American radio. I didn't pick it up. I've had it for years, but an old Midland 3001 Precision series.
I like Midlands. They're good radios. I mean, I don't think they're made in America anymore, but yeah, it's good radios.
And it's Precision series, whatever that means.
That means it's precision, man. Didn't you hear him?
Basically just means there's little notches on all the knobs.
Oh, so you don't have a slip up when you're adjusting the squelch.
Perfect.
I saw somebody posted a picture and it looked like those little rubber pipe caps that they put on the ends of things to protect the ends. They stuffed those all on the ends of their radio, so it had these like crazy like looking nipples hanging off the front of the radio. I guess the guy maybe the guy had arthritis or something. I don't know, but it was gaumy looking, but I guess it got the job done.
Yeah, I just saw somewhere recently a build that guy was asking stupid money for. It was on a newer radio, like a 98.8 or something. And I've seen a lot of truckers do this. I don't know why, but the knobs are like 4 inches long. And they usually have a jewel or bedazzled or some bullshit on the end, but I don't know if it's to get it out of the cubby to make it easier to grab a hold of or what, but they're like 4 inches long. And I'm looking at them things saying, holy fuck, you put like 1 pound of pressure on that damn thing, it's going to snap right off with that leverage.
Bejeweled. No self-respecting man should own a CB radio that's been bejeweled.
No, that's not what I said. I said it's got jewels on the end. It's been bedazzled.
Oh, that's what it was, bedazzled. I couldn't remember what it was. But either way, no self-respecting man should have bedazzles on their CB.
I know, right? And it is, too. There'll be like blue jewels or something on the end. And that's all I think about is some like 6-year-old kid got this bedazzling kit and just used it on their radio. Like, yeah. I won't show you my radio I'm talking on. I don't need to be laughed at for my bedazzledness.
Oh, God, you bedazz... Where's Swiper? Get him on the line.
Probably got my Crocs on, too. I don't think Swiper likes us anymore.
No, I think it's the job. I think it's just different. He's adjusting to it. That's just my guess.
I think he's just gay.
So you're saying... Never mind, I won't say it.
That's exactly what I was saying.
He was just out here 20 minutes ago, not on this channel, but...
Just it, I don't think he likes us on this channel anymore. He's back to being one of them.
One of us. One of us.
What the hell was that from? There was some stupid cheesy horror flick, if I remember right, that did that.
Oh, wasn't that Children of the Corn?
It might have been, or Children Under the Stairs, or I don't... Yeah, it was something like that.
I was just thinking of Swiper saying that he likes penis all around and in his mouth.
Yeah, that's not gay.
Well, like I said, there was 45 minutes of naming all these gorgeous movie stars and stuff, and then it was 20 minutes so far of silence.
So you're the proverbial turd in the punch bowl, fix it.
The turd in the punch bowl. I like it.
That's right, folks. It's fun adventure radio time.
Hey, maybe that'll be my new handle.
Turd in the punch bowl.
No, I think Eeyore is better.
Why bother?
Yeah, what he said.
I got a buddy my wife used to work with. I still see him, not as much as I used to, but yeah, they used to call him Eeyore because that's literally at work. Was always droopy, always, you know, hey, how's your day going? Oh, it's going fine. You know, like, the guy just never fucking seemed happier, never had pep in his step. Not once. It's fucking, you know, great guy. He actually plays in a couple of local metal bands, you know. That's how I met him. Good guy, you know, that just never really is like, I get not everybody's uppity, but there's never one sentence he's ever spoke that he kind of had like an up pitch in his voice. It was always just going down. I'm doing good.
I used to work with a guy like that. He was in his 50s, single, and all he did was play video games, and he would give money to like girls on the internet. It wasn't like pornography. It was like those girls that just stream and talk. I mean, maybe they get in a bathing suit, and he would just like throw money at them. And I got to know the guy a little bit, and I found out that he was just up all hours of the night, and he was always exhausted. And kind of a weird guy. I mean, he was friendly enough, but I don't know, strange way to be.
Go ahead for swiper.
Yeah, I'm too cheap and poor to throw money at people like that.
Well, when he was telling me about it, I'm like, oh, you mean like OnlyFans? And he's like, no, he'd be like on Twitch, and it'd be like these gamer girls, and I don't know, they might be scantily clad, but it wasn't like pornographic. And you know, they give him money, like tips. I don't know, it was weird, but I don't know. Single dude, failure to launch.
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about. The TikTok crowd and all them, you know, they have their battles. People will waste $500 a week on tipping these creators. And obviously the half-naked chicks always get more money, but yeah, you know, and I've seen the gamers that do the same thing. You know, it's how they get their support, and you know, they'll talk nice to these guys, and you know, they always call them simps, but well, they don't call them simps, they are simps. But anyway, but yeah, you know, they talk nice to them, so they feel like, you know, hey, yeah, I'll give you $20. You know, it makes me feel good. You talk to me. Nobody else has talked to me this week. I guess I get it. You know, I'll see these going on, and you know, whatever, and people are like, well, you know, you ever give anybody money? I'm like, fuck that. Get a damn job, even though that is their job. Get a damn job.
Yeah, it was just kind of weird because he was older than me, or he still is, and he was like of a different generation. I feel like I'm kind of in between those generations of people that are into that. Like, it seems like it's more of a younger thing, and I feel like people of my generation, like, that kind of came, I don't know, after me, and he was older than me, so I thought it was kind of weird. I mean, whatever, it's his business, but like weird that he kind of fell into that whole thing. But yeah, he was. But the point of my story is that he was just like this guy you described, like wicked low energy, and customers wouldn't like when he'd show up on service calls because he was always like, ooh, and the customers just thought he was like, you know, I don't know, he just kind of came off as like not prepared to work, and the customers didn't really like it. Like, he didn't speak up, he didn't make eye contact. Like, so he just didn't have good rapport with customers. They just felt like, you know, we sent a guy that wasn't prepared to work, and sometimes his work reflected that too.
Yeah, it happens. Like I said, it's kind of like it's the younger girls now, and I'm sorry, in a way. I mean, you look at these creepy old man. You're like, oh, you're a creepy old man. I'm like, fuck that. These young chicks, they're predators. They call them their daddies. That's like the, I wouldn't say new terminology. Oh, my daddies. And they're all giving them money just to be bubbly and fake, you know. And I'm like, people look at them like, oh, you guys are creepy old men, you know, you're a bunch of simps. And then all of a sudden, I look at it and go, I fucking kind of feel bad, because this, you know, don't get me wrong, good for her, but this 22-year-old chick is basically luring these guys in and sucking them out of, and not sucking them out of, obviously, that's the part that sucks. They don't get anything out of it, but they're sucking these guys out of like $1,000 a week, some of them.
There you go, making puns again.
I know, but it's so pun. Did somebody say Swiper was a homo? Because I thought I heard that.
Swiper wears Crocs.
Well, I said that to try to drag him out, but I guess he ain't in there.
Nobody tonight, huh? Damn. This thing sounding better, fix it? I've never really run this hand mic on this radio. I'm just curious.
Oh, it sounds real good right now. Nice and loud, clear as a bell.
Roger.
What is it?
That's an old 101. With a, you know, whatever, it's an static power mic, handheld mic thing, so. Yeah, just an old tube 101 double E. I was waiting to see if Hawkeye showed up so he could hear it. He says he wasn't really sure how they sounded on AM. I'm like, well, I'll run mine this week, and then I'll sell it to you.
Yeah, that radio sounds really good.
Beer 10-4, want to butter my bread?
I'm coming for your fruit salad.
I ain't eating no fruit salad, but you can toss my salad.
Whoa, break 1-3.
See, even my mic is probably 35, 40 years old that I'm running.
Well, it's a little chilly down here. I think I might fill my cup with a splash of whiskey.
I haven't gotten a drink yet, but I had to go outside. My propane tank was empty. I went out back and grabbed another propane tank. I'm like, fuck this, it's chilly.
It's tough when it's in the 40s like this and it's wet and rainy. It just doesn't feel good. But I was making sure I turned the voice changer off. I'm like, am I still running the voice changer? I'm like, okay, I turned it off. But yeah, it's tough when it's like wet and rainy. It's just gross.
Hey, Screwdriver.
Yes.
You're gonna laugh at me for saying this, but I'm listening on 28. I had to go look at the meter. You're putting out 5 dB on channel 28, and clear as a bell on 28 too.
Oh, you know what? I was gonna hook up my I was gonna hook up my thing, because the sidebands on some of these old radios do that. I noticed it with my neighbor once. I was gonna ask Radioman, but yeah, I gotta hook up my SDR. I guarantee if I play with the plate or the load, I don't remember which one, but if I dip it down a little bit, it should go away. And I forgot all about that, but yeah, it's I know usually this one isn't real bad, but I know No Handles used to do that. Frickin', he'd peg me out on 28, and you go, if you went down real low, the same amount of channels, whatever channels that is away, you see the same thing.
It was hilarious. I haven't scanned to see how bad it really is, but Radioman, turn on your SDR.
I did. He's below channel 1. He's on channel 28 and channel 45.
Yeah, first time I saw that was with Doug, and then never really saw it again. And then yeah, one time I was doing something on this, I'm like, oh shit, look, mine's doing it too. And I don't know if it's just where I tuned it for or what, but I'm letting my SDR, well, letting the computer boot up so I can tell.
I sent a video.
That's how you can tell it's an old radio.
Yeah, I don't know if it's, I mean, it's on a lot of them, you know, so it's not just one. I don't know if it's like if a tube gets weak or something with the pre-select or, like I said, the way it's loading up. I know as soon as I can watch it live, I can tune it out of it, I guarantee it. But I just gotta, it's getting there. I'm slow.
I gotta go fill my cup with a splash. I'll be right back.
Oh, we'll get more than a splash. By. No, yeah. That must be 28. Wow, I'm getting all kinds of weird harmonics in there. The 28 one, well, now that the amp's off, not as bad, but I still see it. This one down on, like, I don't know, somewhere lower. That turning stuff. Oh. And it's not going away anyway. Oh, went away there, but so did everything else. Man, that is weird. I can't quite seem to get it to tune out of there. It's there, and it's, oh, where the hell is this other one? 26925.
Oh, you can't say that you don't go on channel 28 anymore.
I know, right? I don't want it to be that bad. That's, oh, I'm coming over the fucking computer. I'm like, where the hell am I hearing myself? Yeah, usually, it'll tune, but, I mean, it'll follow me when I go. That I do know.
I mean, Fix-It was hearing it, so, I mean, that's not just me. I mean, for me, I'd be like, we're pretty close, but Fix-It's hearing it.
Yeah, well, I mean, like I said, he gives me a 20 on this channel, but, my wife mentioned it in the other room there, and I went in the other room and checked the meter, and yeah, he's putting out 5 dB on 28, this far away. So I know he's hitting down doing the same thing.
Looks like...
Yeah, I forget who it was that, like I said, I know my neighbor did it quite a bit, but somebody had, Regal or somebody, I was talking like last year, I was running this thing, and comes down, he's like, hey, I was trying to talk with you for the last half hour, but you weren't on that channel. I was like, oh yeah, no shit.
Looks like the boys in New Hampshire are fired up on 350. You know, I kind of wish they didn't do that because, you know, they're kind of shooting themselves in the foot. If there's somebody out there wanting to talk with them and they have a, you know, a radio that doesn't have a VFO, they can't really participate. Like, maybe that's by design.
Yeah, I think they, oh crap, I don't think I'm on frequency anymore either. Oh man, I'm fucking this all up. Yeah, I almost think that is kind of what they wanted, kind of little like quiet, private station per se.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I guess that's me. Yeah, I guess that's me. Like, I wouldn't want to do that because, you know, there's some guys on, I don't remember if it was YouTube or Facebook, but people that comment on my videos. There's a guy in Vermont. I don't remember where, but he's like, I try to listen for you guys. I guess he's got a fairly high level station. And there's a couple guys in New Hampshire that try to pick us up. But if you're going to be on 350, I mean, you're kind of, you know, but if it's by design, then that's why. But I'm picking them up pretty good here. Can only imagine what I'll get them once I put up that other antenna.
Yeah, some people just like to be quiet, I guess. Be left alone with their own little group. Alright. See, I'm seeing, oh, I keep my hand off that. I still see a little bit on 28 without the amp on. Yeah, the amp is, maybe I won't run this very long tonight. Damn, so if I'm saying Swiper's a homo and he's up there, though, he should be hearing me. Fuck him.
That's what I'm thinking.
That's pretty goddamn funny.
Fucking Swiper's a homo. Let's see. Turn the camera around here. No, yeah. You can definitely see them distinct carriers on the side of it.
So you're selling that to Hawkeye, huh? Is it already sold, or can I come get it?
Oh, he had mentioned something about wanting to buy one, looking at one or something. And I said, oh, I got one here, I'll sell you. And he'd been looking on eBay, and he's like, oh, I've been looking. I was like, dude, I'm not kidding. I'm like, I'll sell it to you. You know, make room on my bench for something else. But yeah, you know, if only I could find something to do this on all 40 channels. I still want to do that.
Fix it. Don't friggin' cock block people.
I'll find him one that transmits on 12 channels too.
You'll really piss people off. You know, when I get my hands on this 142 next weekend, depending on what kind of shape it's in, I think I'm going to go through it fully and totally do it up. Like, you know, not like, you know, like clean it up, like go through it, fix it up, like make it so that it's like, make it so it's like it's new, I guess is what I mean. Not like dump a bunch of shit into it.
I was only kidding. I got enough problems with this radio, and this is the tightest radio I know of, and I can still only do about 100 watts into it.
Yeah, I knew you were fucking around. Yeah, I mean, chances are that 142, you need to do absolutely nothing to it, most likely. Plug it in and talk. Those things are, they're tanks. There's usually not anything that goes wrong besides, you know, the front mic plug being loose and little shit like that.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I just know that the price that they wanted for it, I was like, okay, does it turn on? He's like, yeah, it turns on. I'm like, all right, that's all I need to know. But, No, I have a couple radios here. One of them, I mean, I went through like stem to stern, like alignment. I repaired anything. Like I basically made it look like it was brand new. Both of them. One of them's a nothing special radio. One of them's kind of a classic receiver. I'd probably never get rid of them. Like, just because. I went through them. They'll probably last my lifetime because I went through them that good. Almost kind of like what you want to do with that snake radio guy.
Exactly. If you take your time, I mean, that's gonna, you know, I can't say anybody can tune up radio and restore it, but if you have the space and the time and a little bit of knowledge, I mean, it definitely can be done. And yeah, even if you put a couple weeks into it, you know, all that time is something you're just gonna sit on. You know, I mean, I get it. I see some of these texts, and you're like, holy fuck, yeah, you know, it was $700, but then you're like, well, how much time did that guy have into it? Probably had $300 or $400 worth of parts, and then, you know, fucking 100 hours of labor.
Well, I don't know, so I'm not saying this is fact. And I think I heard this mentioned the other night. I suspect guys that do that, like guys that kind of do the restorations, if you build the right clientele where people have the money and don't give a shit, you probably do all right. As opposed to the guys that'll just take on everything and anything, and they just get swamped and overwhelmed, and, you know, I don't know. I just know guys that have been in like restoration type businesses, and they didn't do a high volume of work, but their prices are really high, and they had really good customers, and they were able to do well for themselves.
Yeah, that's just it. You know, I mean, if you kind of pride yourself to a certain level, you're going to, you know, your hand custom, handcrafted stuff, it's going to bring in a whole lot more money. You still ain't really making any more money because it takes you a whole lot longer, but yeah.
You know, at some point, I mean, for myself, I can do just about anything, and I can fudge it. You know, like doing an alignment. But it's for me. But someday, I would like to get some little bit better equipment. Not go crazy, you know, but have a little setup. Most of my stuff I just drag out as I need it, and then it goes back on the shelf. But, no, I'm thinking this 142, if it's, you know, like, I'll really go through it, make it look nice. Kind of make it like a, what do you call it, like a cornerstone piece? Like, I have a few pieces of radio equipment that are like they work. They're not shelf queens. They turn on and work, but they look real nice, and they work.
Hell yeah. You know, oh, there we go. Oh, that's some audio. Look at that.
Yeah, but now you can't tell Swiper he sucks.
Looks like my amp was making most of those harmonics. I mean, there's still a little there, but... Oh, yeah, oh, fuck, that's nasty. Hang on, I gotta do something here.
Fix it. We need a signal report. Run in the other room.
No, yeah. Looks like I'm actually swinging backwards on this channel on that radio. Audio 1212. That looks nice and full there. I'm definitely down a whole lot more on that other frequency than I was. That is for damn sure. I still see a little bump, but not like it was.
Yeah, about a 2.
Is he seriously a 2 on 28 up in Oxford?
Yeah, well, it was a 5, but yeah.
Let me bring the power up some. There. See, that's still about, I don't know. Anything crazy. It's about 85 dBm down, so yeah.
Boy, if Hawkeye was on air, he could be negotiating a better price right now.
Oh, yeah. See how he is? He's missing out. Man, that's making the bird meter swing forward's pretty good, though. A little audio and a radio.
What the hell's all that grunting you're doing?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know about Hawkeye, because if he was to run that where he's at, there's like 5 ham operators I know in that area. Oh, man.
It's only got one little harmonic up and down. You ain't bleeding that far. I'm actually seeing a little bigger or something about, the sidebands are about 2 up now. Not way up there. Let's see, 27, yeah, right around like 1.7.
Yeah, I see it.
Those are nice and wide. It's kind of funny. That looks very entertaining. You know, definitely I still see the little peak on 28 and the little peak around, I think it's like 26.92 or 925, something around there. Well, I'll tell you, those mismatched tubes in that amp were definitely making it a whole lot worse, because I'm doing way more power now. Because I'm running it through my regular 16 pill, and not running the tube amp. That fucking, those sweep tubes in that FLDX, yeah, I was making a mess. I might have to go through this radio and give her a good tune-up one of these days, but yeah, you know, it ain't gonna be anytime soon, that's for sure.
No, not especially with us coming into the nicest time of the year.
My plan is to get some bike riding in this summer, and do an antenna or two, but as far as working on radio shit and my radio projects, well, that'll be next winter. And I got plans, so we'll see, you know. We'll see what I accumulate between now and then. Ooh, are you live right now? Is it doing closed captioning?
Yes.
Welcome to the Old Radio Night. I repeat, Old Radio Night.
You bastard.
I mean, it is fun time, fun adventure radio time. We do a lot of farting right here. So welcome to Fart, Old Radio Night.
Don't forget to turn the punch bowl.
Old Radio Night. Hang on, I'm watching now. Old Radio Night.
What the hell is I gonna take? Oh, speaking of antenna projects, I was looking at friggin' conduit. Holy shit! Have you seen the prices of a conduit like in the lately?
Use the gray PVC shit that's meant for underground burial. Way cheaper.
Yeah, just the gray Schedule 40 shit with the flared ends on it, right?
Yeah, it's way cheaper than going EMT or rigid, that's for sure.
A friggin' 10-foot piece at 1.5 inches is like $22.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I remember when it used to be about like, well, 1.5 inches is pretty good size, but yeah, I mean, fuck, I'm pretty sure 1.5 inches, that was probably closer to like, you know, $7 5 years ago.
Man, I was planning on doing underground coax and conduit. There's a guy on Facebook selling some I gotta look into, but I was like, man, as I'm looking at about 100 feet run, and I'm like, god damn, that coax is rated for direct burial. That's looking more appealing.
Yeah, that's all I fucking do. My coax is buried. There's not even rated for it. And it's still fine.
Yeah, I done, well, 3 projects here where I pulled underground conduit, and I bought oversized conduit. I put a pull string in, did the whole thing, and it comes out nice. I like it, but I'm looking at that going, that's gonna, not that I really have a budget for the project, but I don't want to spend all the money in the world. I'm like, God damn, I might just freaking bury that shit straight in the ground.
1-inch black PVC, that water pipe shit.
Oh, that's still stupid expensive.
I wonder if it has anything to do with that train that derailed. Supposedly, I don't know, wasn't that like polyvinyl chloride, all that shit that leaked out?
Yeah, the price of everything's gone stupid, so who knows? Yeah, I mean, I would, just take a fucking Sawzall, cut the grass, and fucking tuck it down in 6 inches, you're fine.
Oh, trust me, I'm thinking about it now. I mean, the only thing I might do is and I have, do some stubs going into the ground so that when I'm weed whacking and shit, just to protect it when it comes out of the ground. But I was like, God damn, when I was looking at that today. But yeah, everything's stupid right now. It's just, it's funny because, the joke was, you don't want to pack rat stuff, but it's like, I've saved some things, just building material, like hardware store type shit. I'm like, I don't even know what I'm going to do with this. I just stuff things into sheds. I took apart an entire friggin' deck, and I saved all the lumber. And I'm still friggin' using it for shit.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I got I just pulled some metal roofing out from my CB room. I still gotta pull more out. I might end up using it now. I got a bunch of vinyl siding up there. That's it matches this place, but it's gonna go on what frickin' trash. I got pieces of copper, and I got bucketfuls of 90s and, whatever T-fittings for copper and plumbing. You think I ever find that shit if I'm looking for it? No, I'm going to Home Depot. So I'm like, frig, I don't even think it's worth it. But I'm the same way. Now, I have a bunch of PVC up to camp, but it's white PVC. And I got it because we cut it up, somebody gave it to me, I don't remember what it was. And I'm like, oh, I'll just couple it together. Well, at the time, because they're 4-foot lengths, 6-foot lengths, whatever. But at the time, I was like, fuck, by the time I buy enough coupling, sometimes you can go up to the next size up and you can use that, but I don't remember. But by the time I buy enough coupling, it was cheaper to go with the real shit. So it's been sitting up there for 8 years because I never used it.
How long of a run?
I think it's I measured it on Google Earth. It's 90 feet, so I'm just gonna say 100.
You're putting your tower 100 feet away from the house?
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice. No, I mean, I kind of wanted to go about 1,000 feet away from here, but it was going to cost way too much money for fucking coax.
Well, it's gonna kind of. I mean, not that I have to hide it, but it'll kind of be out of view where it's gonna be. But it's a good spot for it. In terms of accessibility and all that. So it'll get it away from the house a little bit, but really, there's nowhere. I just didn't want it on top of my house. You know what I mean?
Oh, I completely get it.
But I mean, it's not my wife's it's not like she's like, oh, I don't want to see it. It's just where it is. It'll be a good spot for it, and it's kind of a straight run coming out of this room to get to it. But yeah. Oh yeah. And on the when I well, I'm still working on my camp, but when the camp was in the major building phase, between I would say 90%, I was like 10%. Between my dad and I, my dad was like a virtual hardware store. He was into going to yard sales and flea markets, and he just had stuff there was no reason to have. And we just took it up. Like, I was like, I'd just go over and be like, I'm doing this. And he'd be like, oh, I got all this metal roofing back here. I'd haul it up to camp. He had a massive 4x4, 1-inch, was it? Let me see. Yeah. 1-inch thick piece of slate. 4 foot, was it 4 foot or 5 foot? It was either a 4x4 or 5x5 piece of 1-inch thick slate. I'm like, what are you doing with that? And he's like, I don't know. So I took it up to camp and I put my wood stove on top of it for like a fire proof barrier thing, you know, for like when ashes fall out of it. I mean, there was just so much stuff that, you know, that I'd pack ratted over the years that ended up building that place.
I was going to say just that. It's for underneath a wood stove, usually a kitchen cook stove.
Yeah, I don't even know how he ended up with it. But he had it stacked up in his shop, and I'm like, Dad, what are you doing with that? And he's like, I don't know. He's like, do you want it? And I'm like, yeah. So I went up to camp, and people that come by camp are like, wow, it's friggin' heavy. Holy crap. And I was worried I was going to break it, so I put it on foam board in the back of the trailer, and, you know, so it wouldn't break on the way up, and I, you know, padded it and everything, but it made it all the way up there. But I had all kinds of shit like that when I was building the camp. You know, wiring and like, just, I don't know. I'm sure it saved me some money because it's all that nickel and dime shit that gets you.
I do think I have enough PVC for you, though.
Yeah, what size?
I've got 1 inch, 1.5 inches, and 2 inch, and a whole bunch of it.
Huh. Well, yeah, I mean, the only reason, like Screwdriver said, take a Sawzall, I mean, I'm not opposed to doing that. The only thing I like about running a conduit is, like, when I put my weather station in and my garage power, I did all conduits, and I ran the power in one conduit, and then I ran my coax for my scanner in another conduit, and I put the conduit big enough so that I can put receiving antennas in the other corner of my property, so I get some good spacing. So that's the only reason why I like kind of doing stuff like that, is expansion. But I don't know. Yeah, I mean, what are you gonna sell? What are you gonna sell the pieces for? Because, like, there was a guy on Facebook that was selling a bunch of it, but then I looked at it and I'm like, the price ain't that great, and I gotta drive 40 minutes one way to get it.
Yeah, I'm quite sure we can work out something. You don't need no money. I may not have enough couplers, straight-on couplers for it. I've got a shit ton of elbows and triplets and things like that, but I may not have enough couplers, so you may have to pick up a coupler or two.
Screwdriver's awfully quiet. What could he be doing?
Oh, I was just listening.
I figured you were diddling or dialing.
All right.
Maybe both. He does have 2 hands.
Exactly.
Now, you'd be surprised what's in Hunter's Hardware. Hunter's Hardware's got everything. And the beauty of the conduit is, if you want to run something different, you just run a snake and run something different. You don't have to dig up nothing or anything.
Good evening.
Good evening, Vietnam.
What's going on out there tonight?
Oh, you are listening to it, and you?
Holy shit. Do I have shit going on?
That good, huh?
Women problems?
Well, almost as bad. Bathroom troubles.
Thought you were fixing that like last week. It's still an ongoing thing, huh?
Well, it's spider webbed out, you see.
Oh, I hate it when that happens.
So, do you have a turlet?
Yeah, I got the one in the basement. So I have that. But it's spider webbed out to just fixing the leaky sink, the leak behind the vanity to, fuck it, let's just change out the whole bathroom. New tiles and all.
Wow. That's the way she goes.
Well, I had to change the vanity out, so now I'd have a brand new vanity and then a bathtub that looks like 1992, the nice beige one. So it'd be kind of nice to change that out too. Now, you're going to change that out, you might as well rip the old beige tiles off the floor too to you know what I mean.
Next thing you know, he's going to have a full glassed-in, two-person shower. Oh, yeah. With seats in it.
That would be nice, but no, just a regular tub, but just the tiles and all that. Yeah, it's a shit show. It is a shit show.
By the sounds of it, there's no shitting going on in there.
You have to go down cellar for that.
10-4 and using the sump hole.
It's peaceful down there.
And here I was checking to see if I had any extra Pepto-Bismol.
So what are you building, Radioman? I just caught the part, something about PVC pipe.
Oh, we were talking about towers, and I'm going to the Ham Fest next week, it's this week. So when I come back, I'm gonna start working on this tower project, and I was talking about the cost of just Schedule 40 PVC conduit, and I'm like, man, I can't believe how much it's went up in the last 2 years. That's all.
Oh yeah, it's the resin in the PVC pipe that's making it so expensive. It's that resin that's gone up in price.
Yeah, so that's what we were talking about, and we were debating like screwdriver, and I'm not against it. Is that just getting a friggin' sawzall with a demo blade and just just friggin' burying it 6 inches down, or fix it saying he's got a bunch of PVC, and that's all. I'm just looking at need about 100 feet of it, and I'm like it's gonna add some cost to the project. I have most everything, I don't. That's one of the things I don't have, but I have just about damn near everything to do it.
10-4. Yeah, and the coax, you're probably going to want at least 1.5 to 2-inch pipe would be better for pulling through, because it's going to pull like shit if you get a pipe that's just big enough for that coax, it's going to pull like hell. But another thing about coax, conduit, if you've got where it kind of makes a U, you can waterproof that as good as you want, but the condensation, it will still fill up with water.
Yeah, my buddy who's an electrician, he helped me when I did my garage, and I put underground power into my garage, and I was putting the fittings together in the rain, and I was outside in the trench, and I was kind of like stressing out, and he's like, dude, he goes, it's going to get wet, don't worry. I was like, really? And he's like, oh yeah. He goes, trust me, it'll get wet. There's nothing you can do. There's going to be water in there no matter how good you put it together.
For some people, they don't actually like conduit because of that. They're like, no, it'll hold water. It's worse for it than just direct burial. I still like the conduit more for protection from rocks and frost heaves myself.
Yeah, that's what you can do. You can, that's usually what I do is I'll stub it down below grade, and then leave it open right there for a little bit, maybe put some sand around it, and then go PVC pipe again. You know, but it's not all direct, you know, it's not all one continuous piece. If you had to do something to it, you could at least just dig up either end of it. But, and then run your URD wire in it. Now the question is, do they make coax cable that you can direct bury?
Oh yeah, yeah, that's what we were talking about. Coax I have is direct bury rated.
Yeah, I mean, you could do that, because conduit right now is stupid.
And that's what may end up happening. I just was like, you know, I was telling Screwdriver, the only thing I do is, like, I think what you just said is just stub it when it comes up the ground, just to protect it from, like, you know, weed whacking and shit like that, you know, so I don't fucking cut it off.
Give the saw the old nip and tuck, you know, nip the saw a little bit and give the coax a little tuck.
You want to know what was on my plan when I mean, I got my shit buried right now, but I've also hit it with my lawnmower a couple different places before I buried it, so I gotta redo it. But when I bury my next run out there, I'm going to take some sheathing off so I can get to the copper braid. I am going to wire clamp or hose clamp, whatever, with some good hose clamps, a ground rod, an 8-foot ground rod to it. And then waterproof the center of it where the water can get into the coax and shit, but, you know, liquid electrical tape, whatever, fucking Flex Seal, I don't care what it is, but waterproof it and bury that with the coax. Because I'm telling you, man, the more grounding sideways, it seems to get, like, noise floor quieter, ground rods going in sideways and straight up and down, by far.
Yeah, that's one way to, I mean, they throw ground rods horizontal in trenches all the time.
When I used to do Motorola R56, when it come down from the tower, they make coax ground shield kits, and it's a little piece of copper that's shaped so that when you cut off the outer jacket, you slide this over the shield, and when you nut and bolt it down, it forms a mechanical connection to the shield, and you ground the shield. And then you go into a poly. This is because Motorola lightning protection. And then so your shield gets grounded, your tower is grounded, and then it goes into a polyphaser, and that's all before it enters the building. You know, I guess the claim is that it's supposed to help with noise and all that. You know, noise floor on the receiver.
Yeah, I was gonna take one and throw it in this little fucking pond swamp thing that I got out here. Like I said, when my coax right now drapes through it. When it fills up with water to get to the barrel connector, it's great. It does seem to make a difference. So I'm like, well, I could take that and leave it up out of the water and fucking hose clamp on some ground strap and throw a fucking copper ground rod in the bottom of the fucking pond or muck, and it'd be even better.
Yes, it would.
How far is your tower from the house gonna be?
That didn't sound good. I don't know what you did there, Wingnut.
Hello, 1212 audio, how we sounded?
Maybe it's just me, but you got a hell of a hum here.
I hear it too.
Ditto.
You do seem like it, and I'm on this old junk, you know, Yaesu, but you do give me like 0 signal swinging up to like a 9 or a 10, so you might need to bump your carrier up a little bit too, like it's all swing here. But it could be on this radio, it's not normal.
How's that? Did that do anything? Hello, 1212.
Oh, that time it was cleaned up. The time before it wasn't. But yeah, that time it was.
Bump the RF up a little.
I'm still not seeing any dead key here. I'm still seeing nothing swinging up. But, yeah, the audio got better at least. Your audio sounds good, so it might not be an issue. It could definitely be the receive on this old 101.
Yeah, I don't know. it's not really showing. I'm throwing a carrier that would, you know, just with modulation.
Yeah, I got a 3 for a carrier, and he swings, Christ, way up on the meter, too.
No, I'm seeing the same thing here. A lot of swing.
Probably running the 667.
Yeah, that's on. I turned the RF power up. Did that do anything? A little 1, 2.
No, you still got that weird hum noise in there, which is, that's more in your audio by the sounds of it, but yeah, you still don't have any type of a carrier over here. What are you showing on the front of the meter on the amp?
Nothing unless I start talking.
Well, yeah, you should be up to at least a 2 on that amp, on the meter on the amp for a dead key. I run between a 2 and a 4. But I'd get it up to a 2. Turn the variable up on it. Texas, the 667s don't have a high and a low, so leave all your buttons out, and, well, except for the red one, and then turn the knob up until you get it up to like a 2.
How about that? What did that do? A little audio, 1, 2, 1, 2.
Yeah, it came up a little bit.
Came up a lot of it here.
Yeah, I'm hearing a hum too a little bit with anybody that's talking to me.
Yeah, like I said, I'm not hearing it now as much, but it definitely, you've had that weird hum thing coming in and out. Are you showing any type of a carrier on the front of the Texas Star yet?
Yeah, it is throwing a little bit of a carrier. I had it on low power before, and I think it does that when you do it. You know, you've got that dial-a-watt button selected.
See, that time you started off with that hum and it went away. That one doesn't have a dial-a-watt selection. 667s, that dial-a-watt is on all the time, or it should be.
It's got that button on the front of it.
You should have one that's, well, you got 4 buttons. You got a yellow, a green, a white, and a red. Obviously, the red's power, the white is receive amp. The yellow and the green are going to be a high and a low. Usually the yellow, the green is usually for your dial-a-watt or AM. 667s, usually the variable works on them all the time. Unless they changed them in the new ones. I know every single one of them I've had here did. And it's the only Texas Star that's like that. It's weird.
Well, this is a newer one. The only thing I can think of as different is the clothes dryer is running.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, you sound fine there. You sound fine most of the time, but you definitely do get that hum in there. I would still say you got to turn that carrier up, though. By the way it sounds, you still need more power.
Well, I turned her up a little more. How's that? Audio, 1, 2, 1, 2.
Now you got me at a 5 swinging a 20.
Wingnut, you know the noise it makes when you put your finger on the audio wire for a microphone? That little hum-like noise. That's exactly what it sounds like, but it tends to go away as you talk.
Huh. I don't know, I'm tempted to go down and shut the washer and dryer off.
I'd check your cables for your mic, just your mic plug. Unscrew it a little bit, but yeah, like I said, right now, I mean, you know, Fix It gives me more of a signal than you for a dead key, but you swing 3 times what he does.
My wife won't let me be a swinger.
Son of, see how she is?
Whoa. A little echo.
Well, that's no fun.
Yeah, definitely, it does sound like a mic connection type deal. Something getting in with your audio chain more than anything as far as that hum goes. That wouldn't affect your RF, but I don't know, turn the amp off. Let's see if it makes any difference. Turn that right off.
Hello, 1, 2, 1, 2, no amp.
I mean, I didn't hear it that time, but you don't really give me shit for a signal on this radio.
What are you getting on me now with the amp off?
Like a nothing, swinging a 2.
No noise.
Nothing swinging the 2, Jesus.
But no noise.
Wouldn't think it'd make that much of a difference. I mean, it's not a huge amp.
I don't think there's anything with your amp. Like I said, to me it just sounds like an audio issue more than anything. I mean, it sounds like your amp setting is also not correct, but that's yeah. I turn the amp back on, key up, and then, like I said, leave all your buttons out except for the red one, and see where you're dead keying on that, and then turn that variable all the way up. If you're still ain't dead keying anything, then yeah, turn up the power on your radio.
Hello, audio.
Oh, there you go. So you were dead keying like a 15 there.
Well, I mean, I got the amp all the way up.
Yeah, you do sound a little, maybe overdriven or crunchy, but it's kind of funny because you're still swinging forwards. What are you dead keying on the amp? I know you don't only have a meter there, but what are you dead keying on the meter on the amp?
550 average.
Oh, you mean a 5.5 on it?
Oh no, I do have a watt meter here.
No, Roger. Yeah, you definitely shouldn't be anywhere near 550 on that damn thing. It won't last long.
Probably better back her down a little then.
Ooh, this is getting interesting.
Like I said, around a 2 on the front of the amp, about a 100-watt carrier, and that thing will last you a long time. You get out to about a 4 on the front of the amp, it's probably closer to a 200-watt carrier, and yeah, that's starting to, you know, it'll do it and it won't sound bad, but it starts to take a little bit of abuse on it.
Oh, that's a 100-watt carrier right there. Audio swinging up to 400.
Yep. Besides the hum that you got in there with your audio now, that sounds great.
Try backing your audio down just a little bit, Wingnut.
You said turn the audio up more?
No, down just a little bit.
Well, that's down just a little bit.
Nah, it was still there.
I would almost say try throwing the D104 on just to see. Yeah, to me it just sounds like a dirty connection in with your audio line. Your soundboard, your something, you know what I mean? That type deal.
Kind of like a frayed wire in the plug or something. I guess from the way he explains it, he's got quite the elaborate of microphone setup plugged into that sucker.
All right, that's just the D104 right there.
Clean as a bell.
Yeah, the other one would be a few times too, though. So definitely key her up a few times, and we'll see how it sounds.
Hello, audio 1212.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't hear it there yet, so, yeah. Like I said, you might be able to just turn your soundboard off, turn it on, move some slides, you know what I mean? It's, you do, that kind of shit is more susceptible for RF. You might have able to just move your cables around a little bit and it might have went away too.
Yeah, who knows? I'll, because this is just running right straight into the radio.
Yep.
And that's a different microphone now?
Oh yeah, this is a whole different animal.
Yeah. It's in that microphone setup you got. It's like a loose wire or something, like Screwdriver was saying.
And it never used to sound like that either, because I've heard it before.
Oh, I know. He used to be wingnut loud.
Well, it didn't sound like that every key up now. It was just like, well, it was every fourth one, and then it was every one, and then it stopped for a couple.
I haven't been on the radio much either, so I don't know. It's been sitting.
Yeah, it shouldn't really affect anything.
I don't know. I leave my wife setting for a while, and she gets irritated.
Well, I'm gonna unplug everything, plug it back in, and then I'll try that mic again and see what it does.
I ain't going anywhere.
Heck yeah.
Goddamn electronics.
That's what makes it fun, though, right?
Just a little fickle.
Goddamn bathrooms.
Fucking bathrooms.
Just a little feces.
This fucking pipe's going everywhere in there, you know? Jesus.
It's bullshit, man. I hear ya.
Well, it is a bathroom after all. It should have pipes in it.
You think that's bad? You gotta go down to the boiler. I had that changed out last year. There's pipes going everywhere. I don't even know what the hell's going on in there. No clue.
Well, it's not that hard to figure out, but yeah. You gotta know kind of what you're looking at.
Well, I mean, I'm not gonna put in a new gas boiler. I don't know what the hell's going on, especially with gas.
Yeah, Screwdriver knows all about gas.
Hey, it is the Fun Adventure Radio time here on the Old Radio Night. Old Radio Night. Old Radio Night.
Fun Adventure Radio time.
Yeah, some of them don't sound quite as good as others. It's probably too loud still on the sound bites.
Aw, say it ain't so. You're kidding me.
Usually, if you can see your meter move, it's probably too much when it comes to that kind of shit. Like, it's gonna be a slight flicker, I've found. Like, I'll be like, oh man, I'm swinging 300 watts. Well, if I can swing 200 watts on this, it should sound good. And it usually sounds horrible.
Yeah, it's crazy too, because I just barely have it cracked open.
Now that, I couldn't listen to for another key up.
What? What'd I do?
Oh, fucking cave, echo, reverb, something. Yeah, no.
What? You're hearing? I didn't touch anything. I do have echo on. Is it too high?
Can't even listen.
There. Is that any better? 1 2 1 2. Is that any better?
Mucho grande.
Yeah. I just wanted it cracked open.
I don't think it cracks open.
Oh, you want me to turn it up?
You can do whatever you want. It's your radio.
No, I just barely wanted just a tiny bit of echo just to give it a little bit of depth. That's all I was trying to do.
You know, it's funny, that sound card I got, that little soundboard, it actually has a button that says something about reverb or echo, and that has just that slight amount. But if I turn the knob up, it goes till it hits halfway, and then it almost sounds, not halfway, quarter way or something like that. And then it almost sounds like the same thing. Like, there's nothing, it hits like, I don't know, quarter way, or we'll say the second or third dot, whatever. and then it's just really obnoxious sounding.
Huh. Yeah, I don't know. Let's see. I turned back the special effects a little bit. It's barely cracked open. I got a feeling. Let me try that applause again.
Nope, you need a little more than that because I didn't have anything.
I can't. It's that sensitive. Wow. I mean, I'm watching my meter too. Let me try it again. Yeah, let me try that again. I mean, it is so sensitive. Like, it's either there or not there. I got a little bit of adjustment on it. Let me try this one. Laugh track. Yeah. I mean, I like the mic though. I will say that, you know, whatever ends up happening, I think the mic is a winner. I gotta, I'm not gonna do it now, but I gotta unplug it, see if it's actually using phantom power. I just gotta unplug it with this thing on, see if there's actually 48 volts feeding this thing. No, I agree, and then there's people out there that want to, you know, play with this stuff. I mean, and they go and spend stupid money on a mic, and it's like, you can buy one of these for like, I think you can just get the mic for like 10 or 12 bucks. And it's like, you can't even buy a friggin' Road Devil for that cheap. But if it's the only mic they got, you can spend more.